focusing on the IELTS writing task 2. And this is for the general IELTS test. However, you can apply these same methods and strategies for IELTS academic as well. But I have a separate lesson on that coming soon, so don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want to see that lesson. But like I said, even if you're doing IELTS academic, this exercise will definitely help you. Trust me. So firstly, let's start with a quick overview of the writing task and what it requires of you. You will be required to write an essay in response to a question. And we're going to go through the various types of questions you might receive. Secondly, this lasts 40 minutes. Writing task 2 is only 40 minutes. And this includes writing the essay and also checking the essay afterwards. And we're going to go through that as well. And finally, the essay should be a minimum of 250 words. So this is a minimum of 250 words. Often my students think that this is the maximum, but you are required to write a minimum of 250 words. So let's quickly go through the examiner's expectations. They want a complete response that is relevant. They want an essay that is organized with relevant examples, which can be from your own experience if relevant, or evidence. They want to see your ability to discuss and engage with more abstract and complex ideas. And they want to see a variety of vocabulary and grammatical structures being used. In terms of time, just to reiterate, you must spend no more than 40 minutes on this task. You must write at least 250 words. You will be penalized if your answer is too short, while you will not be penalized for writing more than 250 words. So remember that 250 words is the minimum amount of words you can write you want. And then you have to leave time for checking and correcting at the end. Now this is very, very important because a lot of my students, after they've taken their IELTS exam, they come to me and they say, "Oh teacher, I just didn't have time to check my answers at the end and go through my essay again." And that really comes down to a lack of planning at the start. If you plan your essay at the start thoroughly, then you should have time to check it against the plan you initially did at the start of the test. So it's really, really vital that you leave time for checking and correcting at the end. And of course, you need to produce handwriting which will be clear for the examiner to read. And another thing that the British Council website emphasizes is not being irrelevant. What you write should be very, very relevant to the question you are answering. And I think they've emphasized this because they often do get essays that might have been written quite well, but are just irrelevant, or they go off and do not really engage with the ideas that are part of the question. So you will be penalized if what you write is not related to the topic. So you could write something amazing, but if it's not related to the topic, you will be penalized. You will also be penalized if your answer is not written as a whole piece of connected text. So this idea of structure, the ideas of your essay, they need to link and flow in a very structured manner. And we're going to go through this, so don't worry. And finally, you must not use notes or bullet points. Do not use bullet points in essays. That's just a general rule of thumb. So really, the assessment criteria, it can be broken down to really 4 things that the examiner is looking for. So number 1 is the task response. So again, this is the idea of your answer being relevant to the task that is given to you. Number 2, coherence and cohesion. Just as we mentioned before, there should be not only good writing, but the writing should be structured and organized cohesively. Number 3, lexical resource. This is just another posh way of saying vocabulary. So the examiner is really looking at your ability with the English language. So the more variety of vocabulary you can use during your exam, the more marks the examiner